Hey yo, hello. Another one like the other one and some more of it. You know what I'm talking about? You are tuned in to Liquid Courage. I am your host, doing the most, Beethoven, the innovator. You know what I'm talking about? So, what I'm going to do is do it how I've been doing it, getting to it to get through it. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm gonna have a sip and relax. And this is a beautiful, thirsty Thursday evening. And so we're going to have us a nice, beautiful red wine this evening. And I will get into that a little later. But first, what I want to do is go ahead and pop this cork like so. And what I mean about get into it later, I will put the description underneath. So go ahead and look out for that. So you can go ahead and visit the link, go to the page, and get a lot of history about this beautiful, delicious wine that I'm about to go ahead and sip on. And I'm just saying that I don't know if it's delicious, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. I really enjoy red wine. This is gonna be my first time trying this particular one. So it's gonna be a nice adventure for us all. As soon as I can get the cork out, you know what I mean? Having a little struggle. There we go. There we go. So let's go ahead and pour it up. All right. So it's time to go ahead and sip on that. And then we're gonna go ahead and pop this back in there. We'll do that a little later. It'll be fine for now. All right, everybody. So again, happy Thursday, thirsty Thursday it is. It's Thursday night hype, and this is how we're gonna do it, baby. For shizzle my nizzle, let's talk about it. It's been talked about over the past 3 or 4 days, but I haven't had a chance to address it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do so now, right? For shizzle my nizzle. So we all know about the anchor, the news anchor, Barbie Bassett, whom was let go. I believe it was earlier this month, right? She was let go in the month of March, which is this month, and the thing that happened that took place was in October, right, of 2022. So we're talking what three? We're talking about 6 or 7 months ago, somewhere around there, right? And or about 5 or 6 months ago. I'm sorry, math was a little off. But so she jokingly used for shizzle my nizzle in response to a colleague on air. That's what happened, right? And white woman. And so with this climate that we're in these days, you know, these times that we're living in, people took offense to it. I myself was not really offended when I heard about it, mainly because it was all fun and games. Did my research a little bit. I looked up the lovely lady Barbie Bassett, and she seems to be a jokester, very fun individual, very upbeat, outgoing. And this was the only occurrence, right, or at least the only occurrence caught on camera, as people would say. But she used the saying for shizzle my nizzle, who we know has been that saying was coined by Snoop Dogg, right? But in 2020, in January on January 30th, 2020, for shizzle my nizzle was published in the slang dictionary, right? And in the slang dictionary, the meaning for shizzle my nizzle is that it is a slang way to say for sure, my friend, right? So for shizzle my nizzle, the definition, the solidified definition is for sure, my friend. Now, where I'm from, for shizzle my nizzle, we all know what the nizzle goes for, right? We all know what the nizzle stands for. But obviously, it's subjective, right? I mean, it can mean one thing or it can mean another. So the fact that the definition behind the saying is for sure, my friend, I truly don't understand what people are, you know, losing their mind for and why people are so offended. There are times to feel offended. There are things to feel offended by. That's never going to change. But to find things to be offended about, I know I had a discussion. Uh, um, was it last week? I'm not sure if it was last week, but I posted the video. Go to the YouTube, check it out, visualize to realize it's the channel. like, share, subscribe, right? But I talked about the box braids with Larsa Pippen and the history behind the braids. That was a little more in depth. That was a little more traumatic than this situation here. And the reason why I'm bringing that up because I did talk about how people do find things to be mad at. However, this particular situation with the braids, the history behind braids, and the whole Crown Act that was put in place uh, because of how black women were being targeted for having their hair braided, right, in corporate America, right? So it's a little different, right? It's slightly, well, not slightly different. It's very different, right? It's a significant difference in the box braid situation in this one. But I think with this particular situation, the Fo Shizzle Nizzle being said, watching the video, it didn't. I didn't feel that the woman had any ill intention behind her words, right? So as Barbie Bassett sat on the panel with her fellow anchors, co-anchors, right, and said what they said, they were all joking. It was a fella who was kind of leaned over on the table and seemed a bit uncomfortable, but I wasn't uncomfortable watching it, and obviously I'm a black man in this here America, right? So in the United States of America, and I didn't feel any I didn't feel wronged by what she said. I didn't think it was any ill intention behind what she said, like I just said recently. But I did notice that I read about Charlemagne. The guy spoke on it, and he was pretty much backing her up and supporting her in the situation. And Whoopi Goldberg spoke on it as well. And I think that's great that they did that, being two idolized black people in entertainment, right? That have the platform that's always on the screen to stick up for this woman in this climate that we're living in, right? Because everything that is said is not wrong because you don't agree, right? I cannot agree with something and still understand and take the time to understand and respect where you're coming from. But just because I'm mad, just because I disagree, does not make you wrong. And if you disagree with me, it doesn't make me wrong. See what I'm saying? So a disagreement is one thing. For somebody to actually be wrong is another. They're two totally different things. And these days and times, we need to learn. We need to go back to our old ways and learn how to separate that, right? So I just totally disagree with her being fired, especially since we say October, November, December, January, February, March, right? So it took about 5 months for them to let her go. What kind of investigation is going to take 5 months based on a word or two, a phrase being said? For shizzle my nizzle, all you had to do is go to Google. I mean, 2022, 2023, we still are in the land of high speed, accurate technology. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, it's accurate. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes these electronics do what they want and take a crap on us, but that's a whole nother story for another day. The fact that it took 5 months, almost 6 months, for them to let this woman go. She's been off air since I believe the 4th of this month. And I just find that to be very awkward and very odd that it took so long to do such a simple action. You investigate, they're either guilty or innocent, and then you take action from there, right? I don't think that it was any ill will, any ill intention behind what this woman said. And all of you out there that find yourself being offended by a white woman, a Caucasian woman, Barbie Bassett in this case, saying for shizzle my nizzle, and you find yourself offended, grow up. Seriously, grow up. Do something with yourself instead of looking online, finding videos to be mad at. There are a lot bigger fish to fry, right? There's a lot going on. There's way more things that's out there that will definitely offend you. Go look for it. It ain't hard to find. But someone on TV saying for shizzle my nizzle, I don't care what color they are, what their background is like. It was never really a derogatory term. It was never looked at like, oh, you shouldn't say that. Like when people say, oh, the N word, right? You shouldn't say that. Even if you are black, you shouldn't say it. But for shizzle my nizzle was never put in that light, right? It was never under a microscope like that. So I don't understand why we're doing that now. So Barbie Bassett, I'm with you for shizzle, my nizzle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people, y'all need to relax and stop being so uptight and allowing everything to knock you off your square. Because if you're going to allow words, you know what I'm saying, to have so much power, you're standing for nothing and you're falling for everything. I'm going to say that again. If you're going to allow words to have so much power over how you feel and how you go about your day, you, my friend, are standing for absolutely nothing and you're falling for everything. You're drinking the Kool-Aid, as the OGs and double OGs used to say when I was growing up. This is very delicious. This is very delicious. I can't wait to talk a little bit about this at the end of these here segments. This is very beautiful. Nice and full body. Great. Oh my goodness. Absolutely amazing. But to you out there, all of you out there who are again allowing things that people say to have so much control over how you feel, you probably should see somebody and you probably need to talk about your previous traumas. Maybe it's childhood, maybe it was in your marriage, maybe it's at your job. I don't know. Whatever it is, you need to figure it out because this stuff like this is ridiculous. We are out here, and I say we, I'm just talking about as a people, right? The silly things that we do. We go into outrage and you just cost somebody job their job. And if I'm not mistaken, she was on air. She was a news anchor for 20 years, or it was a long time. She was a news anchor for a very long time. Barbie Bassett. Somebody fact check me, you know what I'm saying, and comment below. You know what I mean? I greatly appreciate that. But I believe it was about 20 years or so, a couple of decades. She was a news anchor, I think, for the same network. And just because somebody is in an outrage, or somebody's right, people are in an outrage, in an uproar because she said for shizzle my nizzle, and it was very evident that she was joking. Yeah, this is just it's stuff like this kind of gets me. I get a little pissed off at this stuff like this because I just don't. I just don't understand why or how we're even to this point to where we can make somebody wrong who is not wrong, right? It was a big deal for black people as slaves and coming out of slavery, right? And just in navigating through this country for years on end, right? Navigating through this country, trying to be, equal and being treated poorly and unfairly, and couldn't catch a break, and the word of a white person would automatically send us to our fate, damn near, right? Or did, or damn near there if it did not, right? Just send us send us to the upper room, you know what I'm saying? And now tables are turning in a sense, and anybody could be mad at anything, and then their word is their word is gold. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Because you are bothered by something and because you say something, oh, I don't like that, I disagree. Well, the way I see it is, nobody cares the way you see it, because we are uh, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, but nobody cares. And it's the same thing with our interpretation. Yes, we it's not against the law to have that, right? But when you are pressing that towards an individual and it brings them negative energy, it brings turmoil to their life, as this woman is now fired, right? Let go. That type of stuff is so problematic. You know what I mean? And we need to change that. We need to change that. It's okay to be bothered. It's not okay to use that to go to have an uproar and cost somebody their livelihood. Like, I don't know what she has going on. I didn't dig all the way down and fall through this rabbit hole too deep, but just scratching the surface with it, and I just totally disagree with this woman losing her job. Hire Barbie Bassett back. She's a beautiful lady, by the way, and very just very upbeat. Like I said, very seems to be very comical, and she likes to have fun. All the clips I looked at, she was having a lot of fun, and this was one of the clips. She was having a lot of fun.
Well, we know it. She'd have a Snoop Dogg tattoo on her shoulder.
For shizzle, my nizzle.
I'm telling you. Julie, what you think about that? Huh, she says.
So I don't know. I don't know how you go so long being on camera and being your regular self, and all of a sudden, and this is what she did was intentional, but it wasn't intentionally done to hurt anybody's feelings. And now you have somebody apologizing, right, at something that they didn't really do. Like, I'm apologizing for nothing because I didn't, you know, I don't. With her apology, it doesn't seem like that she really understood why she was apologizing. It was like she had to, and that's terrible, because I shouldn't be forced to be apologetic when I've done nothing wrong. Sorry, you know, apologies. I get a little passionate when I talk about, you know, just how when people are wronged, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot, and I feel that Barbie Bassett did not get a fair shake in this situation. I feel like she was misinterpreted, misunderstood, and it cost her job, based on the ignorance of other people. It's terrible. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. All right. And it's still, I believe, International Women's History Month, right? Isn't that what it is? Or is it just, it's International Women's Day, and then the month of March is Women's History Month, right? So I don't have anything to actually hone in on for Women's History Month, but I will say, ladies out there, especially all you successful ladies out there, all you ladies that are, you know, working 2 jobs, all you ladies that are single moms, all you ladies that are going through a rough relationship, all you ladies that are, you know, not getting a fair chance at life because you're a woman, because that still happens these days. To my CEOs, my COOs, my small business owners, my large business owners, to all the moms out there, the strong moms out there, to all of the sisters out there, older sisters, younger sisters, nieces, grandmothers, aunties, mothers, all that good stuff. Salute to y'all. Women's History Month. Salute to you all. Now, with that being said, drum roll, please. Now, I'm not trying to butter y'all biscuit and trying to soften the blow, but I do have something that has been on my mind for a couple of days. Just come to me. I see things, I hear things, I interact with people, and I try to figure out, what is that about? And just recently, I had an experience where I was at work doing my job. My job entails a lot of customer service, and I'm doing my job, and I feel like I do my job well. Very presentable, approachable, I articulate well. I just make sure that, you know, when I'm on the clock, I clock in, I'm clocked in. You understand me? Getting to it to get through it. That's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm working. I look up. I see a young lady. I say, "Excuse me, ma'am. Is there anything I can help you find?" Because I see her walking around. She's looking, but she's not really talking to anybody. She's, you know, do you have any questions? So typically when I ask that, the response is, "No, I don't have any questions. Thank you. But if I do, I'll be sure to ask." That's simple. And so today, the response that I got was, "Oh, no, I'm just looking for my husband." And I kind of just was like, well, you know, I handled it professionally, and I was just like, "Hey, you know what?" You know, to myself, and I was just like, "Okay, no problem. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask." I'll be sure to help. And if I can't, I'll be sure to find somebody who can. End of that. Excuse me. But it was the way that it was the accent on the end when she mentioned her husband, how it was as if I was, I don't know, maybe trying to hit on her. This isn't the first time this has happened to me. It doesn't happen frequently. And again, I'm also a people person. So even if I'm not on the clock, I tend to be very friendly at times, or stand in the line somewhere. People get to talking. Oh yeah, we have conversation and things of that nature, right? Social butterflies, what they call people like that, right? I guess. And when that happened, I was just kind of taken back because first of all, I wasn't attracted to you. That's what I was thinking. Like I wasn't attracted to you. So that brings me to this topic, right? That was just the icing on the cake for me to actually talk about this, since it's something that's been on my mind for a few, right? Um, Ladies, when a man addresses you, he's not always trying to hit on you. Let me say that again. As beautiful as women are, when a man addresses you, approaches you and addresses you and acknowledges you in a polite, respectful manner, cordially, we are not always trying to hit on you. There's a such thing as a gentleman, and we do exist in this world. We do exist in this country. I'm a Cali boy. We do exist in this state. You know what I'm talking about? But I think a lot of women, I understand that, a lot of things that's going on, whether you believe it or not, whether it's, true or not, Cosby situation, Weinstein, the Ben Roethlisberger allegations back in the day. I mean, a lot of sports players had allegations and stuff like that, right? The one Antonio Brown had a couple years back. All these different things. Women being beat on, raped, kidnapped, all these different things. So I get it. Men are naturally stronger than women, and the whole domination thing, to feel dominant. Some men take advantage of that and take advantage of women, and it goes south. It goes left real quick. I get it. So women are typically in uh, cautious, right? In protection mode. They got to protect themselves. They got to protect their safety. They go on a date. I don't know what his expectation is. He wasn't clear. Is he going to try to take advantage of me? Is this why he's doing this? Is this why he's doing that? So I do understand that. What I would like you ladies to know, I would like the women out there watching, I would like you to know that everybody is not the same. I understand sometimes we treat all women the same, and y'all are not the same. We treat all women as if this one is going to act like that one. We do that too. As human beings, we're creatures of habit. But I just want women to know, because I feel like some things, it's things that happen, but people don't really talk about, right? It's the things that happen that people don't really have that discussion about, right? Things you talk about but you never see, or things you see but you never talk about, right? And I think this is one of the things that occur, and it doesn't really get addressed, and we need to address it. You don't have to always deflect, right, when a man addresses you or approaches you. I've heard stories of men addressing a woman, approaching her and trying to tell her it's something on her car, or tell her that, oh, she got tissue on her pump, or, it's something on your backside. It looked like you sat in something, or, it's a hole in your pants. I don't know. But it's a plethora of things. And I've heard many stories of that happening. And all he was trying to do was help. So I want a lot of women to understand that we're not all creeps. And as beautiful as women are, all of us don't want all of you. In a sense, is I'm not talking about, of course, there's homosexuals out there and things of that nature. There are men who like men, women who like women. I get all that, but I'm not even talking about in that light, right? And that from the perspective of from that angle. I'm just talking about as a heterosexual man, I don't want every woman I see. I'm not I'm not thirsty like that. Never have been. Um, and I think a lot of women need to understand that. Again, women are very beautiful. But just because a man approaches you does not mean he wants your number, he wants to screw you, or that he even wants to be your friend. It's okay to listen. And a lot of times people don't even have to step in your bubble to communicate with you, right? You know, you give me my space, right? So I mean, you know, it's always good to be cautious. I'm cautious. I'm cautious of whoever. It don't matter if it's a man, woman, or child. People be wilding out these days. There's a lot of weird people out there. I get it, but you know, I still try to be as 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 solid as an individual as I can be, as real as a person as I can be, by just being normal. You know what I'm saying? And trying to communicate thoroughly with people. But ladies, we don't want all y'all. And every woman that I talk to, I don't even think is attractive in a way to where I'm like, yeah, man, if this don't work, I'm gonna get with her. Not even that. So, ladies, just stop, you know, stop treating all men like they want you. I understand there's creeps out there. I understand that. And there's somebody for everybody. But baby, uh you ain't it for me. And that's not to nobody in particular. That's just me putting it out there. You know, I don't, because men have feelings too, and don't nobody want to be treated like, it's kind of like a slap in the face when a man approaches, right, and goes to say something, and before we could say anything, you and your friends got your lips turned up. Your friend whispering to you, telling you, "Oh, nah, girl, because if he talked to me, all this type of stuff." That's cool too. Oh, that's cool too. Feel how you feel, but do that with some understanding and respect. Yeah, I get it. Women won't respect too, but that's not the subject at hand. I'll get to that later on down the road, more likely sooner than later, because I'm universal. Us men do some weird shit too. I get it. I know it. I was young once, younger, still young. You know what I'm talking about? But I was young once, and in my younger years, I was immature and I said goofy things, did goofy things and shit like that, and it, it didn't pan out the best because girls are like, young women be like, oh, get your goofy ass out of here. You know what I mean? Straight to it. Get it from around me. So I get that, and I will be talking about that. But right now, I just am talking about women not understanding that you can be approached by a man, right, without him trying to run you through the gauntlet to be his mate. That happens a lot. We just, there are still friendly people out here. There are still regular people out here who are not doped up, who are not, trying to go off conspiracies of the government and this and that, and COVID did this, and your cell phone radiation and all that. I'm not saying that stuff is true or false. That ain't, I don't deal with any of that. What I'm saying is, A lot of stuff that's going on in the world today has made people leery, made people weird, and just a little awkward socially. I get it. But there's still a lot of us who just say it is what it is and continue to push through it and live life as normal as can be, and would be cool with being able to conversate with someone who, you know, who's like-minded. Meaning that when you are approached and someone just says hi and smile, that does not mean I want you. And if you tell me you have a husband, I'm glad. I'm happy for y'all. When's the anniversary party? Maybe I'll bring a gift. As you see, a bottle is my specialty. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so just be mindful that just as much as a person can be crazy with ill intention, a person can be kind with positive energy and uplifting intentions. That's all. That's all I want to say on that. Ladies, I love y'all. I'm not a woman hater. You know what I'm saying? I love my mom. I don't have mommy problems. I love my sisters. I just don't have that. My aunties, my lady cousins, you know what I'm saying? I love all my people. I don't have problems with my people. So I'm not a woman hater by any means. I haven't had the best relationships getting older, but I don't hold that against other women. So I'm not a woman hater by any means. I just speak what I feel. And I also feel like I'm speaking on something. When I do speak on things, I feel like I'm speaking things that other men may not want to say, because they may not want the backlash from any women, or just may not want to be put in a certain light that whatever it may put them in, if it's seemingly negative. But I don't care about that, because again, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, but nobody really cares. You never seen anyone going about, man, you got a butthole? Nobody cares. So, it's my opinion, it's how I see it. I'm not saying I'm 100% accurate, but from experience, it just seems weird to have that response. I feel like it's more so like a reaction than a response, because it's not thought about, it's not processed before the mouth opens up. So it's a quick to speak and slow to hear situation when you need to be slow to speak and quick to hear. All of us. Just saying. So again, I am your host with the most, Beethoven the Innovator. And we're going to talk about this real briefly. Now, I need y'all to bear with me, because this is a French red wine, okay? And to my knowledge, from what I can remember, this is going to be my first French red wine. It is a 2018 red wine. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. The red wine is titled Devois d'agneaux. Okay, and when I looked it up, I googled it, and that stands for duty or responsibility of the lambs. And there's a embroidery on the bottle here of the lamb. There's a stamp of the lamb right here on the label, and it's the winery. It's bottled. The production of it, of course, is French, so it's in France, and it is Languedoc. Languedoc. That's how you say it, okay? Languedoc. And that is the location. It's really it was a rabbit hole of information that I found out. Dating back all the way to the French Revolution, and probably even before that. The area of this specific wine, and Umla is the location. So you want to look that up. Again, everything that I'm speaking on when it comes to this wine will be in under the video. So check underneath, check the description, and you will see everything that I'm discussing. But here's what the bottle looks like. I found this one at Costco as well. And it was about, let's see, It was about, I don't know, I think this one was about 15 bucks, maybe 16 bucks. Still, the last bottle I did was about 12 or 13 or something like that, maybe 11. I'm sorry, about 11 bucks, I believe. I could have quoted it wrong on the last video, but I believe it was around 11 or 12 bucks. So, again, this bottle right here is from Costco as well. And again, I'll have that information for you guys in the description below. Um, Again, the wine is called devois d'agneaux. Okay, that is duty or responsibility of the lambs. Um, and you'll see at the bottom of what I just read, devois d'agneaux, you'll see that it's umla, de umla, and that is a location in the south of France. The city, I believe, is the region is Languedoc, and Umla is within that region. So again, I'll have that information for you. They actually have a page on the gram, and I will be tagging them on IG, so you'll be able to go and get more information about this nice full body red that I am sipping. It is also beautiful, also tasty. Have a sip and relax. Out of here.